In this problem, we're given a line or a linear function, and we're asked for the slope, the y-intercept, and the graph. So the first step is to realize that f of x is the same thing as y. These are the same thing, and this is equal to mx plus b. And so now we're going to use just basic matching to find the first two answers. So you see m here must be equal to 3 over 4. That's our slope. So m is equal to 3 over 4, and this is the slope. So I'm going to go ahead and box in our first answer. The y-intercept, b, must be equal to this negative 2. So the y-intercept is equal to negative 2. And we want to write this as an ordered pair. So an easy way to do it is to remember it's the y-intercept. So y equals negative 2. So if the y is negative 2, the x must be 0. So that would be the y-intercept. And now we just have to do the graph, and we're only going to use these two things to do the graph. So here's the y-axis, and here is the x-axis. So this is x, and this is y. And so we'll start by plotting the y-intercept, which is 0, negative 2. So from the origin, we'll go right 0 and then down 2. So 1, 2, and there it is. That's our y-intercept. So 0, negative 2. Now we're going to use the slope. So m is equal to 3 over 4. And this is the same thing as rise over run. So we're going to use this to graph. So from the y-intercept, we're going to rise 3. So 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to run 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, put a dot. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just connect the dots, and we should be good to go. Now, the only thing that's going to be a little imperfect in this graph is the point where it crosses the x-axis. So this is not going to be perfectly done in this problem. The question didn't really ask for that, so we're just going to leave that up in the air. So that would be it. That would be the final answer. Now, if you wanted to find out exactly where it does cross the x-axis, that's called the x-intercept. And we could find it. In fact, let's go ahead and do it. I said let's not do it, but let's do it. Starting to feel like we should. So to find the x-intercept, what you do is you set y equal to 0. So you set this whole piece equal to 0. So here we have 3/4 x minus 2. And then you solve for x. So we can add 2 to both sides. So plus 2 plus 2. So you get 2 equals 3/4 x. And then to solve for x here, we have to get rid of this fraction. So we can just multiply by the reciprocal. So 4/3, 4/3. So yeah, we get not a nice answer. 4 times 2 is 8. And there's a 1 here, so we get 8/3 is our x. So 8/3, which is a little bit less than 3, because 3 is 9/3. Actually, our graph is pretty perfect, right? Because this is 3, which is 9/3, and it's crossing right here, which is about 8/3, which is a little bit less than 3. So despite us not having to do this, right, this is not really a necessary part of this question, it worked out pretty good. So pretty good graph with no graph paper. I hope this video has been helpful. Good luck.